Hello everyone, Happy New Year to you, and the very 1st of January 2024. I can hardly believe we're here. It seemed like yesterday we were just talking about, was it too early to colour Christmas pages? So I didn't get an awful lot done. I did manage to do 9 pages in the end, in between family commitments, you know, looking after the little fella. Yeah, so it was a busy month. So I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I wish you every happiness for 2024. Anyway, I'm going to stop my ramblings and we're going to get on to the pages we coloured. So the very first page that I did complete in January, I'm just checking that this is right, it is. It's R.J. Hampson's brand new book, Serendipity, another cracker from R.J. And we did, together on the channel as a colour along. Why does it pop open immediately when you're on your own, but not when you want to do a video? We did this page together. I hope that you can pick up that stickles. Look at that. Oh, gorgeousness. So what did we use? We used Prisma's Pentel Dual Metallic Hybrid Pen, Posca, Stickles Diamond and Silver. So this is diamond, this will be the silver, I think. Yeah. So we used our Prismas in this one. I love how it came out. I love that we've got the wintry colours in the background, but yet those warm, earthy tones of all the birds. And I ummed and ahed about whether they should all be robins or different kinds of birds. And in the end, I decided I was going to keep the page unified and I was going to do it all as birds and do more of a cold green for the leaves so it was more frosty. But I was really pleased with how this came out. There's not just Christmas pages in here, folks. There is all sorts. It's an incredible book. I mean, look at that. It's Aladdin. Open Sesame. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. But there are a few Christmas pages. I love that one. There are a few Christmas pages in it. I've got a feeling that we're going to be seeing a return to Mr. Fogarty. Just something RJ might have said on Instagram. Yeah, so don't be worrying if you're looking at it and thinking, oh, I don't want a whole Christmas book. There's lots of gorgeous ones. That's nice, isn't it? The Alchemist. Okay, so that was R.J. Hampson's Serendipity, my first page that I finished. And then I did a page in Jim Shaw's Holiday Traditions. Now this is folk art illustrations, and a lot of it is from quilting and things. So you get the, I mean, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous book. But you get Jim Shaw's designs. He is on YouTube, so you'd be able to pick him up. Look, how is it I can get that gorgeous shine on this glossy paper, but not on my stickles? Anyway. So what I do is, you know how much I like copying pages. I photocopy the page at the back that is relevant to the page that I'm colouring, because it's got the examples in it. There it is, down the bottom there. And have it next to me while I'm colouring. So that was this particular one. That's another one. And if I turn it around the right way, you might be able to see. So this is my version. And I absolutely love how it came out. There are a couple of subtle differences, like I didn't put the diamond pattern back in the sleigh. I didn't feel it needed it. I didn't want my horse as dark, and I didn't put the patterns back in the horse either. So, and I didn't want my trees as dark as that, so I kept, they are darker, but and I absolutely love it how it came out. So I'm just going to move you up. There you go. So what did I use here? I used, polychromos. Polychromos don't work the best on this paper, so I used, and this is what got me started with mixing up my media. And something happened. It was just like a click, I don't know. I'd been very, excuse the word, I hate the word, but very anal about mixing supplies. Mixing different pencils, I mean. I wasn't so fussed about different gel pens and paints and things like that, but pencils for years, I was like, oh, well, I've started in Prisma, it has to be finished in Prisma. But something kind of just clicked and I was allowed to do it all of a sudden, if that makes sense. I'm just going to come in a little closer. And so the polys were really hard work. So I had the Prismas out, I grabbed the Prismas. And it just worked like a dream together. They worked so well. So then I used my Thule Art paint pens, and I used that to put in the little, some of the bits that I wanted in the background, and take out some of the black lines to do the edging. I did all the edging in that, and then I used a little snowflake punch, which is here. It was just off of Amazon. Yeah, just a little snowflake punch. I coloured the paper with silver metallic marker, and then punched the snowflakes out. And then stuck them on with Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. So that is what you can see at the bottom, that extreme glitter. I hope you can pick up the glitter, not just the shine. It is extremely glittery. And yeah, use that to glue the snowflakes on. It's been a long month, folks. And then use white Posca just to dot some snow in for a little bit more interest. But I really loved it. When I was looking through my books, I'd got like a bit of a slump. I don't know, you're busy, and I wanted something to do. I was really struggling with colours and things like that, and then this one popped out, and I thought, do you know what, I've only got to copy it. I'll do that. I enjoy copying things, other people's art. I'll do it. So I finished that on December the 23rd. Yeah, absolutely adore it. Lovely, lovely book. And I think there is a colour along somewhere on the channel, maybe. One of these. I did that, I don't know how many, whether it was last Christmas. I think that might be the only one. I did that with Polychromos, and boy, it's hard work. Yeah, I think that's the only one. It's a shame because it's such a gorgeous book. But we have such a short amount of time, don't we, to colour our pages. So back you go again to bed, my cute little Christmas colouring book. Okay, so that was Holiday Traditions. And then I came on and we did a video together, a colour with me, in Creative Heavens, I always get it wrong, Creative Heavens Christmas Gnomes colouring book by the very talented Teresa Goodridge. Now, I went overboard with this page. There's a Freudian slip. I went overboard with this page. It is not the best colouring I've ever done in the world, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, I did this page with you on the channel. I'm going to have to scoot back out a little bit. I'm going to have to move my cup of tea out of the way because it's getting in the way. We did this page. So, it's very overboard, folks. Excuse me. I do like the way it's turned out now. I was a bit worried about it when I was doing it, but I do actually quite like it. Now, there is glossy accents. I see you'll pick that up there. Glossy accents on the bow. See what I'm talking about? Let me turn my light round a minute. I might blind everyone, but wait a minute. See if it'll work. Yeah, there you go. Glossy accents. There is glitters around the tree, on the baubles, on the presents. Glossy accents. This page is heavy. Let me just turn that light back. There we go. So we use, it actually doesn't look too bad now I look at it. I was really worried about it before, but it actually doesn't look that bad, does it? For a fun Christmas page, I mean, I went out here because these were cheap. They weren't stickles, they were cheaper ones, but you can see how shiny and gorgeous they are. So look at that green one. Yeah, beautiful. So we used Polychromos, a tiny little bit of Prisma I've put. I don't know what we use Prisma for. Glitter glue, glossy accents, Posca, Thule Art paint pens, and alcohol markers. So I know the background was alcohol marker, and his hat because they were big spaces, and obviously a little bit of orange underneath the red. Would have been like a vermilion colour I think I use underneath red. And that was, yeah, it was on the channel. Like I say, not the best colouring I've ever done. Although I quite like the gingerbread. It's just, it's all the stuff that I've put on it that sort of I don't know. Well, if you can't go mad at Christmas, give up, really, I think. So anyway, yeah. So we used a little bit of more or less everything. And I'm really glad that I've done it. I listened to this. Isn't that the most satisfying sound in the world? But yeah, I'm glad it's a single-sided book because it really is heavy. It's a hefty page with all that glossy accents on it. So that was Christmas Gnomes colouring book by Teresa Goodridge. And then I did Cutesy Christmas Special. This is, I've cancelled my Colouring Heaven subscription. I was just getting too many that I didn't like. And I know there is another Christmas one I've got, but this was my favourite. When did this come out? This is issue 68, so I think it was like 2 or 3 Christmases ago. Still, for me, the best one ever. I did, it's got Mariola Budek in it, that's why. This one I did, that's not this year. I did that, I copied it onto paper and did that, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 years ago. Love how it came out, but it's not that one. And I tried it in the book this time, which I won't be doing again. I really just, I don't know. I expected more from the paper, but anyway. So there's no glitter on this one. I think I used it all on the last page. This is my little snowman page. And I really like how it came out. I just tried to stick to cold colours. And I think it came out really well. Could have done with a little bit of glitter, Lucy. I do think. But never mind. So I use my Artex pencils. And the reason I use that is because, I don't know if you can see in this lighting, the snow combination is so subtle and beautiful, but just takes off that white. It's really, really pretty colour combination. So Artex pencils, alcohol markers, pencils I said again, I give up. Yeah, alcohol marker up here. That's gel pen that's gone through the page there. So a little bit of alcohol marker, paint pens and gel pens, that's it. Just a nice simple quick page, but I really like how it turned out. I like the little teddy being grey. It was quite a challenge to stick to it all being cold colours. The only thing that I didn't do cold was obviously the red in the candy cane and the beautiful, that is gel pen. Although, oh yeah, you can pick up a bit of the glitter, but it's not extremely glittery. What is that? Just says gel pen. Maybe it was a cheaper one, not like our dual metallics or Stardust or anything. But so there is a little bit of glitter on there, but it's just not showing up very well. So that was Colouring Heaven's Cutesy Christmas issue 68. Gorgeous, gorgeous edition. And then this has been the longest standing whip I've ever had. I don't really have whips. I have abandoned pages that I've ruined, but I don't really have whips, and this was abandoned. And the reason why is, you know, I've got a little bit of OCD with books. Well, this is the only Clara book I own, sadly. I'd love her first one, but I don't think you can get it anymore. The red covered one, you know, the very first one. Is it Magical Delights? Anyway, the reason I'm digressing. The reason why this had been abandoned was my first page. I started with Inktense, not really knowing what I was doing when I got this book. It was a while ago, and I had a bit of bleed through. Well, now, of course, I know I can fix that, even if it was a little bit of distress ink, or I put die cut something and cover that up. That'll be fine. So I will go back in now and finish that and make it good. And then I did, when I was learning, right back at the beginning, I was colouring a page with Julie's passion for pencils. I like this bit. I hate this. I don't know. It's just because it's so bright. So what I'm thinking that I might do, I think I went off then and started to do bits by myself that were not so bright. I just don't like that house, which is the main focal point. Anyway, so what I think I have to do is fix up, or do a really bright background or something to dull that down, or maybe even try erasing it, but that would be risky. acrylic paint over it. I don't know. Anyway, so that's why it got abandoned for the longest time. And again, I will fix it up. But then this was the page that I'd left. I'd started colouring it, and I have this thing about books being perfect, and yeah, don't ask, it's got a lot better. But I finished this page. Now, all I've done on this page was the first owl, and I think part of this owl, and hadn't done any more. And it had just been left. And again, like I said, when I hadn't got too much time, hadn't been sleeping the best. It's when you're thinking about you've got lots to do and, you know, getting things ready and things like that. I was looking through my books, and I often do that, pull my books out and look because I like the artwork. And I thought, well, this is such a shame. This book could be so magical, is so magical, and I could fix it very easily. And then found this, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to have a go at finishing this. So I picked up the Hoo water-based markers to do the background with, because I really don't want to wreck these pages. I would like to do them too. However, disaster struck, and it did bleed through. But then it was a really juicy pen, and it was my own fault. I should have done lighter layers and let it dry. I'll show you the pens I mean. They were gifted to me, and they're gorgeous pens, but I just didn't. It's these ones, and they look like alcohol markers, but they're water-based vibrant colours, and they're gorgeous pens. And it was my fault. I just I was obviously too heavy-handed, or maybe it was just way too juicy. So what I thought I could do, actually, when it comes to this page, I thought I would I will block out these with masking fluid and do some distress ink on there. I can get away with it, I can fix it, it will be fine. If I do a distress ink background of some kind, sort of arching round, it will be fine. So yeah, I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled to bits with this page. I love it. So much so that it got me wanting her other books, and I went on to have a look on Etsy. It would cost me, I think I worked it out as £55 sterling to get one of her books here to the UK. £55. I can't justify it at the moment. So it's going to have to wait. I will, the goal, but then, you know, I've got a whole book here. None, apart from that one I did with chalk pastels, ages and ages ago. None of them have been touched. I've got a whole page, a whole book. Can I really justify, you know, getting more? Not really, can I? Anyway, so I am now totally back in love with this book. Now I've shown you that page. I didn't even tell you what I used. I used those pens just for the background. Polychromos, Prisma, Artex and Posca. So this is where I started to, I thought, well, that hasn't got, that set of pencils hasn't got that colour in it that I want. I'm going to get Artex. So I used Artex to do the snow, again down the bottom, that very subtle combination I liked. Polychromos, I liked the blue, the sky blue that they've got, and the turquoise, so I streaked that in a dress. Artex, I think for the, I don't know, maybe the reds. Polychromos again for the brown. I don't know, but I just went to town and loved it. So now I've shown you my page and what I've used, I will be fixing these up. So hopefully you'll see that next finished pages, January finished pages. So that's the Incredible Books by Clara Markova. If you're lucky enough to own them all, I envy you. Yes, I know I've got a massive colouring collection. I'm very grateful for what I've got. I am, and that's why I'm just going to focus on that one book and stop being a spoilt brat. Okay, and then this was a book that the lovely Trudy bought me. It is incredibly beautiful paper. It is, it's just gorgeous, but it is Shutterstock Images. I think I'm right. Oh God, I could be wrong now. I think it is. I think it was Shutterstock Images. Chartwell Books. Yeah, there's no illustrator. Thank goodness. I thought I'd like sold somebody down the river then. So I did this Christmas tree page. I love it. And it was really quick, actually. A really quick page to do. I just obviously didn't use alcohol markers, and I just couldn't do it because these little images on the back are so gorgeous. Right, what did I use? I used the my gel sticks for the background, and I've just got the cheap ones. I can't even think what they're called. Have I got them about? No, my room is such a tip. I've like literally got supplies everywhere where I want those. I want this to do everywhere. So I can't find them at the minute. They're the cheap ones. There is a comparison on the channel. I did comparing them to Neocolour 2s, I think way back at the beginning of my colouring. Anyway, so what did I use? Stop waffling, Lucy. Gel sticks for the background. Rebecca's Art Spirits True Silver paint that you're picking up there, splattered in the background. Absolutely incredible paint. One of my all-time favourite watercolours, the Art Spirits. And some white acrylic paint splatters. Polychromos, Prismas and Artex, again. Those three sets seem to give me every single colour I could possibly want. I love Artex, love Prismas, and I love Polychromos, but they just somehow work so well together. I did try and do a little bit of the light catching on things from the candles, so it didn't look flat. I don't know whether I've achieved that or not. I'm not very good at lighting and shadowing, but a little bit of snow around the bottom of the tree. I just really like it. It was just a nice simple page. And then just, yeah, dual metallic hybrid pens. What was that for? Is this right? No, wrong one. So I based it with water-based markers. Then I went in with my Polys, Prismas and Artex. Splattered it with true silver gold paint and white acrylic paint. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. A Christmas page. I really like the background. I think it came out really lovely. So that's that. That is a Merry Christmas colouring book. And this is by Chartwell Books on incredible paper. And then I turned to some older books. I was feeling a bit better. Christmas was over, I do believe. And yes, Christmas was over. Was it over? Christmas was over. And I decided that I was going to do a page in Flora. And I did, let me show you, the Christmas Angel page. Gosh, it looks really blue on screen. It looks really bright on screen. I don't know if it'll look different. The reason why I've done the border on this page is A, it looks cool, but B, mainly, is that I was so messy and I got all the colour on the edge here. So I thought, well, I'll bring the colours over and that'll look really nice as a combined spread. So I used some masking fluid was the first thing I did, and I masked out the fairy completely and all the snowflakes. And then I used Neocolour 2s to do the background with. When that was dry, I probably did another coat. Then I went over with Neocolour 1s to take out any streakiness. And what did I use here? It just says Polychromos for this one. Dual metallic hybrid pens. That was for the snowflakes. Let me see if I can get that beautiful. Hang on, let me turn the light around again. Get that shimmer off them. I don't know if you can see that. I need to get some, like a little torch or something, so you can pick up on that. So I used Polychromos, Neocolour 2s, Neocolour 1s, Artex pencils, Posca, dual metallic hybrid pens, and then because why have I put fixative? Oh, I did. I sprayed a fixative over it because I'd used the Neocolour 1s and I didn't want it transferring over here, so I sprayed a fixative on it. Lots of white Posca, as you can see, and I took a white pencil and drew in these swirls to make it look like she was creating the snow. It's her that's bringing the snow. I hope you can see that. in this lighting. On this screen it's really odd, the colour. It's a gorgeous colour here. Yeah. Yes, it made it look like she was magic. She was a snow angel, bringing the snow. Again, that combination I fell in love with here, and I put it on a dress because it almost looks like she's glowing. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that page came out, really happy. And I was saying that this is one of the pages I couldn't wait for you to see, that sort of stepping it up and using different supplies instead of just sticking to the one is going to make such a difference. And I'm so excited to do it. So I'm going to have to rethink my whole way of colouring, really, because I've been so rigid that I wouldn't allow myself to do these things. And what a difference it makes when you do. So don't be like me and sort of hold yourself back, not being able to colour the way you'd like because you won't use different supplies. It's ridiculous, folks. Let yourself be free. So there's my Christmas angel. And then I thought that this is a nice wintry page. It's just winter. So even after Christmas I can come back in and redo that, bring in some of these colours over here, and it would just look beautiful together. So love that page. So that's Flora. Maria Troll. Love her old books, I really do. Flora. Gorgeous. And then there is two more I managed to squeeze in. So, you know, I found these books by Lizzie Mary Cullen. They're out of print now, and I was so lucky to find all three at once. Different places, but all three at the same time, if that makes sense. This is Boa Vista, which is the Liz's Spanish book, and I've only done the front page. And all I've done so far is this one. And this looks a little black now, this mortise board, but well, I suppose I could have done a different colour. Anyway, I used Inktense, and I used Prisma, and I used Artex pencils, and I used Polychromos, and I used Posca. Mainly, it's mainly Inktense. So all of this is done with Inktense. There is a tiny bit, and I mean a tiny bit, of shade, and I wouldn't allow myself to do too much, just to deepen up like some little bits at the bases. I wanted it to sort of remain mainly Inktense. I really want to sort of focus on... I'd almost forgotten how to do them. It had been that long. Isn't that criminal? And I want to mix up watercolour pencils with my Inktense in here, so I get a variety of colours and the different shades that I want and all the rest of it, textures and what have you. And I also use the Tooly Art paint pens. I think it's just for the dots. Posca, that would be the white. And... oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I do apologise. Inktense, Prisma, Artex pencils, Polychromos and Posca. That's it. I was looking at the wrong page. I'm just thinking, well, where's the alcohol marker? I haven't used alcohol marker in Liz's book. Silly person. Yes, I really like how the first page came out. I'll probably change that if I could redo it, but it's done now. Yeah, can't. So, and then I don't know whether to work through them in order. I think sometimes that takes away from the enjoyment of the books, but I probably just enjoy it and do it as they come. But so that was the first one of my 3 books, Boa Vista by Lizzie Mary Cullen. Incredible artist. I wish she'd bring out more books. I do love her. And then last but not least, I managed to squeeze this in the nth minute. I think it was about 20 to 12 yesterday, so the 31st of December, that I finished it. And this is 50 Festive Themed Miniatures by Camilla Angelikova. And I just did a little pastel, little sleeping Bubba. No frills and shine, he just is what he is. And that's exactly as I envisaged him, a little pastel sleeping Bubba. And I used Inktense, funnily enough. And as you can see, the page is a little crinkly. It's not too bad. I used Inktense, and what I did find is they do work really well to get you that. You can, what am I trying to say? You have to place the colour exactly where you want it, because it really does not want to spread out on this paper. So I just used a really light hand and put it on where I wanted it, and then you activate it, because you can't spread it about, you can't move it around, it just won't happen. Yeah, it doesn't like it at all. But I've got the Inktense out on my desk, and I thought, well, I'm just going to see, like you do, experiment with the page in a book that you really like, you know. Clever going there, Lucy. So I used, obviously, the Inktense, my Artex. I know this pink is Prisma. No, it's not, it's Artex. Tooly Art paint pens, I used loads of that and took out all the lines as much as I could. I did find that when I tried to put white Posca around, which I also used, the black ink kind of comes through. So the Tooly Arts seem to cope better, but whether that's because they were a colour or not, I don't know. Like I did the tree with Tooly Arts, the pink on the cloud, round the, you can see an example of it round the stars. Like there, you can see the black like pushes through. It's weird. It's like the ink comes through. And then this was Tooly Art silver metallic acrylic pen. I just love it. I just think it's a really cute little page, a cute little book. I didn't have time to, before January ticked in, to do anything more. So this took, I don't know, an hour. Maybe, probably a little bit more, probably 2 hours, say. And I was just in the nick of time for it being still in December 2023. And as I finished, it was time to go downstairs to wish my husband Happy New Year. And that was that. So, and that is my 9 colouring pages. I'm really pleased with how they came out. My favourite has to be, I think my favourite has to be the Fairy Celebration, so I'll end it on there. I think I'm thrilled with that page. I'm also thrilled with the fairy as well, but I think this one, I don't very often use bright colours, but I really think it helps with my colouring to have a bright background, because my colours are quite subtle a lot of the time in my colouring pictures. And I'm just thinking, if I push myself with backgrounds and add more colour, it's going to push my colouring out. I don't know, we can only try. But I am, yeah, my colours are quite subtle, which is probably why I'm freaking out about that seashell house. But I love it. So we'll end on this page. So once again, Happy New Year to all of you, and I wish 2024 brings you the best of joy and love and happiness. And so until we meet again, maybe we'll do the Flora page on the other side, I don't know. Until we meet again in the really near future, take really good care of yourselves, my friends, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.